2009 Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that has worked hard now. This is a team that was together for 3 years. They were all but 3 players were on that 2007 JV team that won the city championship. They know how to play the game. They have the experience. I expect, huge things from them. The great time in the summer. They had a real successful summer, real successful winter ball. It's been nice to have 14 guys, a senior-dominated team, and they're leaders. They're all leaders. So it's tough to say, you have 4 captains or not when they're all really captains. We're going to go through our lineup because Nico Garcia, a 3-year varsity starter, and he's a true gamer. Okay, there's a few kids on this team that just nobody works harder than, and he's one of them. He's going to Cal Poly Pomona next year on a baseball scholarship. I mean, he's the real deal. Juan Perez, a good solid player, uses the whole field. By far our best base stealer. He's the guy mentally, above all others, understands this game. He gets it, and that's a huge thing. He's also going to Cal Poly Pomona. Robert Almendares, a 4-year varsity starter. When I got here, he was a sophomore. He's got the power, hits for average, has a good arm, can pitch on the mound. I mean, he does everything, and he's our second best base stealer. Jeremy Stern, our center fielder, 5'2" athlete. When he's on, there's nobody that's going to stop him. I mean, he's got everything going for him. Nick Cade, 2-year varsity player, first-team All-League guy last year. Just a good, consistent player. Can play every position. Played second base, third base, left field, pitches a little bit. Spencer Horowitz, he's a 3-year varsity player. Not the biggest arm in the world, but yet a very quick release, and very few teams steal off of him. I mean, he just gets rid of the ball so quickly. And as a hitter, I mean, he's not a big kid, but he is strong. Danny Vidalis, been a catcher, first base, DH. I talk about him as he's a pure hitter because he can pull the ball for power. He can go the other way when he needs to. Good hit and run guy. Whenever we need something, Danny, I'll do it. He's that type of a kid. Ian Connell, who's our 6'5" first baseman, really a defensive specialist for us. Really, the way I look at him is offensively, what we get from him is a bonus. The infielders love throwing to a 6'5" target. And what's amazing is he's got such great hands, he picks just about anything. Taylor Costin, one of our best outfielders, been playing right field, great at the sun balls, and knows how to play the game, loves to hit, very aggressive hitter. When he gets hot, you got to look out. He's got some good power, gap-to-gap guy. Brady Moore, who's injury-prone Brady Moore, and when he gets back in there, when he does get healthy, he's our guy. I mean, he's our leader. He is our vocal leader as it is. When he's on the field, too, it just adds so much more. He hits for power. He's got a home run this year, a few doubles. As soon as we get him back and get that bat back in the lineup, you got to watch out. Gustavo Casas, he's a good defensive player, knows the game, understands his role for this team, and offensively, he's very aggressive, which I like. So when you do get him a pinch hit opportunity, he gets up there and hacks. He likes to swing it. G. Allen is he's a stud. He can play. I mean, he can play as utility guy. He can play outfield, infield. I really like him offensively. I mean, he's a good little player. Pitching staff. John Wilson has truly established himself as our number 1. He's 7-0 thus far, but even more importantly, when he goes out there to pitch, the guys behind him know exactly what they're going to get from him. Really, sky's the limit for him. And he's, mid-80s fastball, but the bottom line is you can look at him and you don't know if he's up 5 runs or down 5 runs. And that's what makes him so great, is that he goes out there and pitches his game, trusts his defense, and will take the result in the end. David Carver, our crafty lefty, Carver, he gets out there and competes every time he takes the ball. Fastball, curveball, changeup, comes down, drops sidearm a little bit now, and he just gets outs. But you know what? He keeps them off balance, and when he does that, he gets wins. George Vassallo came into the varsity program with only about 6 or 7 games left, and then we got him another league start against Granada where he got his first varsity league win, so that was tremendous for him. Got a little taste of what varsity is going to be like, as he's obviously the leading candidate to be the guy on the hill next year. That's our 2009 Cleveland Cavaliers.
Hey fans, have you heard about our snack bar? It's world famous. Ask anyone from France, or Germany, or England, or Russia. Ask this guy.
All right, Cleveland Baseball 2009, our new Snack Shack. Big fundraiser event right here. This is all the modern conveniences here. And this is going to propel us right to the city championship. We believe the snack bar is the difference, besides our great players.
There's 3 coaches on varsity. You got myself, Coach Marcial, who's been in the program for 10 years. The last 2 years he's been the JV head coach, and he's an energy booster for these guys. He knows the game really well, but more importantly, I kind of needed him as next to me. And he's been around, knows the game so well. I mean, I have all the trust in the world in him. If I wasn't there, I'm sure he'd do a better job than I'm doing. He's tremendous. And Coach Goodman, he's our pitching coach, works with John and David primarily, but he's done a nice job. Calls the pitches for each game too. He does a nice job.
Tag up, tag up! Good job, Nick!
You get Chatsworth at home twice in 2009, and you get John Wilson on the mound against Mike Renner. You know, it's just a highly anticipated game. Everybody's looking forward to it, and the intensity was there. The crowd was huge. Going into the bottom of the 6th inning, and we set the table, put a runner on first base, bunted him over, and got him over to third base with 2 outs, and got a ground ball down the third base line by Taylor Costin. The third baseman kind of came up on him a little bit, threw the ball away to first, or threw it in the dirt. First baseman didn't pick it. And again, it goes back to, I'm telling you right now that in the past, that first baseman picks it. It's a tie game going into the 7th. Just this time, for whatever reason, he didn't pick it. We get the run. And it's just like, you kind of felt like, okay, the brakes are finally kind of going our way. And it was huge. It was huge for us to get the lead in the bottom of the 6th, send Wilson back out there in the 7th, knowing his pitch count was pretty low, knowing that at that point he had 9 Ks, knowing who was coming up for them in the lineup. And he got the first 2 guys out, walked the 9 guy, a pinch hitter. You know, next thing you know, first and third tying run at third, and Wilson gets Cooperstone. Everybody, they just celebrate. And I just kind of sat back and let them celebrate. Just excited for them that they finally came through and got that big monkey off their back. It was just a tremendous feeling.
Can you say first place Cleveland Cavaliers?
Mid-Valley Youth Baseball continues to be strong, continues to be our main feeder. And the kids that are coming out of there, they're hungry kids. They want to play ball. And to come to a program like Cleveland where the reputation is so great and they've had such success in past years, I just think it's great for these kids.
Mid-Valley, that is an experience I'll never forget. That got me ready for high school ball. It's the kind of games where it's more family than anything. I'll tell you one thing, that made me the player I am today. So I owe it all to that.
It was a whole bunch of fun, man. It was nothing like any other league could have been.
Mid-Valley was awesome. It's where I learned how to play. It's a great place. Everyone there becomes your family. Everyone looks out for each other. And good coaches prepare you for high school baseball. And luckily we're here now at Cleveland with a lot of other great athletes from Mid-Valley.
I came to Mid-Valley when I was 12 years old, and it just changed me. Kind of learned real baseball, learned lead-offs, big barrels, and just kind of got this sense from the guys playing there that this is the way you're supposed to play the game. And I've carried that with me throughout high school and then on to college.
Here, what did you just get?
Got 2 letters.
What'd the letter say?
Prospects. Prospects for the Dodgers and Athletic games. Kind of nice.
We felt like we weren't beat. We just kind of handed it to them, kind of laid it out there on a platter, and they went, okay, we'll go ahead and take it. And that's the worst way to lose. When you get beat, you want to just get beat. Somebody played better than you, but you don't want to hand games over, and certainly not league games. And in a huge game like that, again, such a great atmosphere. And we felt like, they just kind of took it from us rather than us going out there and getting after it. So it was a little bit of a letdown after our win, but again, not a mistake that we were going to make twice.
Batting for the Cavaliers, number 7, Nico Garcia.
We played El Camino on a Wednesday, got a home game. It was such a huge game based on where the standings were. We're tied for Chatsworth with first. El Camino is only a game back. They got a solo home run, jumped up 1-0, and Almendares came up for us. He hits it out. It's a 2-1 ball game. We give him a run in the 6th inning to tie the game, and we set the table in the bottom of the 6th and didn't score. We set it again in the 7th and didn't score. And then the top of the 8th, El Camino puts 2 on with nobody out, and still Wilson in there. His 8th inning of work, just refusing to come out of the game, saying this is my game, and he induces a fly out to right. So all of a sudden, 1st and 3rd, 1 out, turns into a runner on 3rd and 2 outs, and Wilson ends up striking out Booth, gets us out of the inning. Momentum's back on our side. We get our leadoff guy on. It was Vidalis who got on. We ran Wilson for Vidalis because that's who he was DHing for. I mean, at that point, you got nothing to lose. John was coming out of the game anyway. He wasn't going to pitch. He was going to end up going to play the outfield because, again, we had nobody left. So why not? Go ahead and run. He's faster. Connell comes up, 0-2 count, battles back to a 3-2 count. Wilson running on the pitch. Connell blasts a single to center. The center fielder comes up. Ball just goes under his glove. He goes back to pick it up and drops it. And I just kept Wilson scoring, and pretty good throw. I think he's got a shot, but he threw it up the line a little bit, and Wilson scored easily, and we'll take it. We walk away with the 3-2 win thinking, wow, we didn't play very well, and yet we still beat El Camino, which is huge.
Channel 36, we do all the prep sports in the LA City section. We think we do a nice job. We're excited about prep baseball. We have 2 games, this one, El Camino and Cleveland today. And we have El Camino, who is outstanding, in 3rd place currently in the West Valley against a team that's tied for 1st place in Cleveland. They're 6-1 tied with Chatsworth. And we think these are 2 of the top 4 teams, certainly in the city. When the seeding meetings come in a few weeks, we think that they're going to be in the top 4. And if Cleveland could win the league championship, perhaps could be the #1 seed in the city.
The fact that it was on television, I think last year the guys, have been, oh yeah, it's on TV, that's huge, that's big, that's great, and they do love it, believe me, but they certainly weren't hyped for it like they were last year. For a lot of them, last year was their first time on TV, this and that. They've been through the experience once, so they didn't want to just think about that. They had to think about the game, focus on Cardona, who they were going to face. And I told them before the game, they have to prove to everybody that they can win a tough game on the road, which to this point, we've done a couple times, but not at a Chatsworth or an El Camino where it's real difficult to win, especially at that field where the ball just flies out, and they got a few guys in that lineup that can go ahead and hit the ball to any fields and hit it out. So Carver takes the ball in the 3rd inning and just pitches tremendous. I mean, just battles. I mean, I think the second pitch he threw, he leaves a pitch up to De Leon. De Leon hits it out, and I think that was the best thing for him. He realized, you know what? I need to hit my spots. I can't leave pitches up in this ballpark here because that's what's going to happen to them. And he battled. He just kept us in the game, which is all we asked of him. So even in a 5-3 game, you know, they'd scored a run in each of the first 4 innings. Finally, in the 5th, Carver puts up a 0, which was huge. Guys came up, they were so fired up, and Nico comes out.
Oh yeah, go! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!
And then we ended up getting 2 more after that, which ended up being huge because they did set the table for themselves in the 7th, and Carver worked out of a bases loaded jam beautifully.
That's it! Oh yeah!
Pitching today, Coach?
Pitching John Wilson. John Wilson, his turn. Hey. And the philosophy of this team, and really from the get-go 3 years ago when I came in, was to dominate defense, to dominate on the mound, and to dominate offensively. And when you do all 3 of those things, you rout teams, you blow them out. When you do 2 of 3 right, that's when you just win games. Robert Almendares was on 3rd, and he looked over at me before the first pitch was thrown and said, "Coach, he's going to get a curveball right here. Watch this." Gets a first pitch curveball, and Brady did the rest.
Did you see that Brady hit?
I sure did. I do love my boy. I love my boy.
I mean, obviously we pitched a tremendous game. John and David combined for 3-hit shutout, and offensively we had 13 hits. In reality, they were never in it. I mean, from the first inning.
Congratulations, Cavs, and I'd like to remind you to come out this Saturday to Dodger Stadium at 2 p.m. to watch your Cavaliers compete for the City Championship.
It'll be a good game. That's my prediction. It'll be a good game. 2 teams fighting hard.
Where are you going now, Coach?
Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium, 2nd time in 3 years. Let's go.
Where are you going?
Disneyland! Oh, sorry.
Where are we going?
We'll be at Dodger Stadium.
We'll see you a couple days from now. Saturday, Dodger Stadium, baby.
Well, it's the pinnacle of their prep career. That's what they long to do. I mean, you know, when you talk to all the kids, their dream is to play at Dodger Stadium. We've seen in the past kids pick up some of the sand and some of the grass. They'll pick at the grass just to take it home and just leave it at their house. So it's what it's all about. It's 2 veteran clubs. They're very familiar with one another. I think it's really a picket game, maybe a slight edge toward Chatsworth, but it could go really either way. It's one of those games that could be a classic. I don't expect a lot of runs. I think both Wilson and Renner will pitch fairly well today. It's tougher to score in the large confines of Dodger Stadium. I do think we'll see a very good game.
Garcia. Batting second, number 12, 7'8", Juan Perez. Batting third, number 1. Number 4.
But they're thrilled. I mean, the goals, 3 goals that we had this season. Number 1, win a league title, we did that. Number 2, get to Dodger Stadium, we did that. Number 3 is win a city title. So we've done the first 2. Now it's just take care of business for the 3rd one. With 2 outs in the 7th inning in the 9-0 game, it was a great opportunity for the coaching staff just to pay tribute and say thank you to our seniors, who are the reason why we were in the position that we were in. These kids work so hard, and to give them just a minute, not even a minute, a few seconds of coming off that field to end their high school career and kind of look up at their parents, their family, their friends, and just to hear them cheering for them. That was a great honor to be allowed to do something like that. And again, I'm very grateful to have had that opportunity to show how much respect that I have for these seniors, because they put us here.
It was just, I think, the greatest performance by a Chatsworth team. Now, Cleveland's a very solid team, but I think that was Chatsworth's best performance, hitting, fielding, and obviously pitching ever. All around, just a dominant performance against a very good Cleveland team. To win 3 in a row in this day and age is quite a tribute to Museborn and his entire squad.
But in the end, you look back and the kids were dejected, and I think the dejection came as that was their last high school game. And on any given day, especially with baseball, anything can happen. And for our guys, they're gonna walk away with a high school education, a diploma. A lot of these guys, 2 trips to Dodger Stadium, getting to play on that field, which is obviously a childhood dream. And just understand there's more out there. And as we talked to the guys after the game a little bit, this is just a stepping stone for them. And these guys are going to have success at the next level to bigger and brighter days. Coach Marcial has been in this program for 10 years. And he's seen these kids from the time that they were probably 6, 7, 8 years old playing over at Mid-Valley where most of them came from. And I think for him to see these kids come up through the pony system and then to come into high school and to see how they've matured as young men, I think that really took its toll mentally. I know for me, watching the moment that he had to have with each kid, I mean that was a great thing. And I mean these kids, Coach Marcel does so much for this program, and these kids understand that. And I think it was just a great way, kind of to end everything right there and give him a hug and just say thank you. And for Coach Marcel to say thank you for the memories that he'll have with these kids. To just watch them grow as baseball players, but more importantly as people, it's great, it's gratifying. It's not something that I'm going to get sad about. It's something I'm going to embrace and watch them as they move on into college and into the real world and watch them become young men. I mean, it's a great thing.